Lewis Hamilton may have 3 new threats to the F1 world title next season. One of the most thrilling Formula One seasons in recent years brought a very controversial ending. But at some point, we need to start looking at next season. If he is still racing, Lewis Hamilton is still probably the favorite for the title. Red Bull made it very clear they were fully focused on 2021, with Mercedes planning more for the future. This should give Lewis Hamilton the advantage over reigning champion Max Verstappen heading into 2022. But it might not be a 2-horse race this year. Here are 3 new threats Lewis Hamilton may have to deal with next season. Number 1, George Russell. Mercedes made a decision that had been long discussed this season. They decided to move on from Valtteri Bottas after the Finn had his worst season with Mercedes. Bottas did still manage to finish 3rd in the Drivers' Championship, but was 161.5 points behind his Mercedes teammate Hamilton. When you're in the fastest car on the grid, you need to win more than Bottas one race. So Mercedes turned to George Russell, announcing back in September that Russell would partner Hamilton in 2022 after signing a long-term deal with the team. Russell has been successful throughout his career before joining Mercedes. Russell won the GP3 title and F2 title in consecutive years. Mercedes signed him to their junior driver program in 2017, and he has impressed heavily since. His first season in Formula One might not have been great, but Russell has been able to constantly outperform his car in 2020 and 2021. Incredible performances in Styria in 2020 and Belgium in 2021 show how good Russell is over one lap. Of course, the performance that will scare Hamilton the most is when Russell stood in for him at the 2020 Sakir Grand Prix. Russell was on course to win the race before pit mishaps and a slow puncture ruined Russell's chances. Despite finishing 9th, Russell was rightfully praised for his pace in a new car. With a full preseason in the Mercedes, Russell can be very quick. While it may take a few seasons for Russell to get fully acquainted with the car, the young Brit has shown that he can be very quick, and it would not be surprising to see Russell pick up some race wins in 2022. Number 2, Ferrari. Ferrari recovered well from a disappointing 2020 to finish 3rd in the Constructors' Championship this season. Ferrari managed to finish the season 28.5 points ahead of McLaren. With McLaren struggling to keep up with Ferrari in the second half of the season, Ferrari will be very pleased with this improvement and will look to continue that improvement in 2022. Ferrari seemed confident to improve in 2022. Team President Mattia Binotto has already spoken above the 2022 car and power unit containing a lot of innovation. With the new 2022 regulations, Ferrari could really benefit from designing their own engine. Being able to integrate this engine into a new car should give them a massive advantage over teams like McLaren and AlphaTauri who don't design their own engine. Ferrari also have what might be the most talented driver combination on the grid. Heading into 2021, their lead driver was Monegasque Charles Leclerc. Leclerc made his F1 debut in 2018, having been a part of the Ferrari Driver Academy since March 2016. Leclerc had a very good first season with Ferrari in 2019, claiming with wins in Belgium and Italy. While his 2020 and 2021 seasons have not produced any wins, Leclerc is probably the 3rd most talented driver on the grid. Given a contending car, Leclerc can be dangerous to Lewis Hamilton. But Hamilton may have to worry about Ferrari's 2021 second driver, Carlos Sainz. Sainz had a phenomenal 2021 season. Sainz finished 5th in the Drivers' Championship in his first year with Ferrari, including 4 podiums. At the start of the season, there was not many people who would have said that Sainz would finish the season ahead of his teammate Leclerc. It was a great performance for a driver in his first season with Ferrari. Sainz will only get more comfortable in the Ferrari. It means that going into 2022, Ferrari have a dangerous driver combination and an improving car, which could scare Lewis Hamilton heading into 2022. Number 3, Sergio Perez. Another driver in their first season with a new T, Sergio Perez showed flashes of brilliance in 2021. but wasn't able to consistently perform to the level he will have wanted. Perez finished 36 points behind Valtteri Bottas and more than 200 points behind his championship-winning teammate Max Verstappen. While it is unfair to compare Perez to Verstappen, Perez will still be looking to improve in 2022. It certainly doesn't mean that his 2021 season was all bad either. Perez won in Baku as well as claiming another 4 podiums, including 3 in a row in Turkey, USA, and his home race of Mexico. His valiant defense against Lewis Hamilton in Abu Dhabi helped set up the Dutchman's victory. For a first season, Perez will be happy. He showed enough performance for Red Bull to sign him up for 2022 and should improve. Another year with the team should make Perez more comfortable and should allow the Mexican to perform even better. While Perez on his own may not have the pace for a title challenge, his car will help. The Red Bull was the fastest car on the grid for parts of the seasons, with Red Bull finally being able to catch up to the performance of Mercedes. If Red Bull are able to produce a car similar to this year, it would be hardly surprising to see Perez trouble Hamilton throughout next season. After all, Perez may be the only driver on the grid who can sustain tires as well as Lewis Hamilton, with Perez's race pace being his stronger element of 2022.